welcome to The Dying Breed. I'm Caleb. I'm here with Ed Beaston, Troy Wood. Ed is from England.
Yeah.
And Troy, you're from Washington.
Yep.
And we're here in Spokane, Washington at the FAWS Summer Contest. We're going to talk a little bit about what it's like being in the farrier industry. Troy's pretty well known in the farrier world and has been very successful. Ed has made some major accomplishments as well, getting his dip from the UK, the Worshipful Company of Farriers in the UK. And we'll explain that a little bit later, and we'll just get right into it. Okay. So, Troy, if you want, start off, give us a little introduction and brag a little bit.
Not much for bragging, but I guess I could tell you a little bit about myself. Well, I've been shoeing for just about 6 years, and I grew up, my dad, he's a machinist and fabricator, so I grew up working in the shop and with my hands and deburring like thousands of parts at the grinder. So I grew to hate that, and I grew to really love horses. So like I still kind of get the best of both worlds right now, of like working with metal in the shop and then also around horses outside, going to different places every day. So it's been
And you started 6 years ago. When did you start competing?
5 years ago.
5 years ago.
Yeah. Wow. Mm-hmm. So I've bbeen on the WCB team for 3 years. And then I was reserve national champion last year and top 10 in Calgary last year as well.
Wow. And the WCB, for everyone, is the World
Championship Blacksmiths.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm running on not a lot of sleep, so my words aren't working super well. Let's just start over on that one. So you went to, what started you into competition?
I played quite a few sports growing up, and I always enjoyed being competitive. Man, I feel like I said it better the first time.
No, yeah, it's because you're thinking about it.
Yeah.
We're just, your mentor got you into it.
Yeah, so Steve Ritchie, I apprenticed under him, and I played quite a few sports growing up. Always enjoyed the competitive aspect of things, and I knew that, like, my dad and my grandpa, they're both machinists, and Steve, like, they taught me if I'm going to do something, I should try to be the best I could possibly be at it instead of like just half-assing it. So competing, that's what the best do. So whether it's rodeo, blacksmithing contests, anything like track and field, football, like the cream rises to the top. So I want to be trying to rise to the top as well.
That makes nice. So what's your day look like? To be at that level, what's it look like? What do you have to put in?
I like doing things. I'm kind of a creature of habit, I guess you could say. So I only shoot 5 days a week, but usually five to seven full sets a day is like a good average day. And then I'll spend usually 4 or 5 hours in the shop practicing, making shoes. So,
and what time do you start your day?
Usually in the summertime, I'll be underneath the horse at 6 a.m. before it gets too hot. But this time of year, it's 8 o'clock and I'm done by 3 or 4, and then I'll be in the shop. Like Ed's on the cultural exchange, and when he was out at my place, we did 10 sets a day every day, and then we were in the shop till like 11:30 every night.
Yeah.
But that wasn't too unnormal for me.
Yeah.
So.
And what did you? So maybe introduce people to the Worshipful Company of Farriers. Explain how the UK works, and then how you started.
Okay, so let's go through the basics. The Farriers Registration Council, the FRC, runs the register and is basically controls and regulates all the farriery. The WCF are the awarding body within the world, which have been given the license by the FRC until recently. We won't go about the recent politics because it's all hazy, but they've lost their license recently. So the WCF, they award the diploma and the AW to all the candidates that once they've completed their 4-year-ish apprenticeship, depending on how long they do. And then that means once they've done that apprenticeship and they've finished all the paperwork aspects of it, they are now eligible to take the exam provided by the WCF. So they will do the diploma exam, and if they're successful, they then become a diploma of the Worshipful Company of Farriers. Now, there's multiple levels to the WCF. We've got the diploma, which is the start, and then we've got the AW, which is the associates, and then we've got the fellowship, which is the FWCF, which is like a doctorate.
So, what drew you to shoeing horses?
Well, it's difficult. So the biggest decision was I was working on a breaking yard for event horses, and it was snowing. I just slipped on my ass and I was shoveling horse shit into a lot of people. I thought, I cannot be doing this for the rest of my life. So the first person it was always in the back of my mind. My uncle's a farrier, so I knew the job. I knew what it was required. And like on that day, the farrier came and I just said to him, mate, can I come out with you for a day and see what's going on properly for more experienced farrier? He took me in. He introduced me to David Gully. David Gully then basically taught me how to light a fire, which was incredible. Very lucky now on respect. And then this farrier, Craig, he got me introduced to my first boss, and that's where I started, basically. Just how it started. It was just a rolling things.
Well, it's kind of funny because that's how, I mean, for me, very, different, but it's similar. I guess all our stories have a little bit of similarity. Because that was kind of how I fell into shoeing horses. I was breaking horses. I needed a strong back and a weak mind, and I won.
Yeah.
Still winning, apparently, with the weak mind anyway. But it's odd to see young people like us to have a career and a purpose at such a young age. Like, I don't think that's very common anymore.
I mean, yes and no. I think there's always been the sort of difference between people. Like there's the people that are driven, that want to do a practical thing. And then there's the people that are quite happy to go and do their job, do their shift, do what they need to do, earn a good money, and then that's it. They don't have to worry.
Yeah.
But I think we're all a bit addicted to stress and a bit addicted to the skill and the requirement to improve ourselves every time we see a job, because we're like, oh, I could do that better and I could do this better. And it's just like, that's the difference between someone that works for themselves or someone that's trying to improve themselves or someone that's just happy to go to work and come back home.
Do you think you could work for someone now that you've tasted this?
It's hard saying. I think in the right circumstance, yeah. But for the most part, no.
You like the independence?
Yeah. I like creating my own schedule and being my own boss. So
it has been my experience that most people aren't driven enough to be self-employed, and that you work twice as hard being self-employed because A, no one's telling you to get up in the morning.
Yeah.
And B, they want you to, like, taking on extra horses or whatever. Like, people think you can just, I'm self-employed, I'll just take today off. Well, if you take today off, that's still there tomorrow.
Oh yeah.
You don't get a break.
Right. Yeah.
Those horses are still waiting. Or that customer's still ringing you 5 times a day.
Yeah. So your clientele's, what's your clientele like? What are the people you shoot for like?
So I live in cowboy country, so I do a fair amount of ranch horses. But then I do quite a few rodeo horses as well. So just normal quarter horses, a lot of hunter fit, nice and tight, just everyday shoeing.
What's your number one shoe size?
Aughts and ones.
Yeah, that's about right. What about you, Ed?
What about me? I've shot a big range of horses in my time. At current, my business has been kept small because I knew I was coming here on the exchange, so I kept it minimal. But the majority of mine have been either just your happy hackers or hunt horses. So I've been shooting horses that like a big range from your 14-hand ponies for the little kids and the pony club people, and they go hunting. Or I'm going to shoot the people that go, and they go every time, and I'm doing 17-hand horses with like, it's a 7-inch width foot.
Oh, wow.
So it's very difficult to say for me for shoe size, because for 1 minute I'm doing a horse which is like a triple naught for you guys' size, all the way up to like a 5.
Yeah.
And above. It changes so very regularly.
It's crazy because when I started shoeing horses, like I was on my own, and I pretty much was that way for 8 years. I had 1 or 2 mentors. And then I discovered the AFA, and then I discovered contests. And I think it's so cool because you show up like I had never met you before last spring, and you were the coach for my horse in the novice class. Mm-hmm. And I learned so much, and everybody's like, it's just one big brotherhood. Everybody likes, I mean, there is some politics. There's some people that don't like this person or that person.
That's in everything though.
Yeah. But I mean, as a whole, but even that being said, they'll still help each other out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
It's a bit of a mutual respect, isn't it? You know the job that everyone's going through.
if you can do a good job, they respect the job. They might not like you personally.
Yeah. It's for the betterment of the horse though, at the end of the day. Like,
Yeah.
you don't.
Well, he's your ultimate judge and jury, really.
Yeah.
Well, and it's kind of funny. So I was talking to another farrier and I made a comment online that somebody said, well, all my horses are sound or something like that online. And I said, well, that's really not a good metric to measure how good a shoer you are.
Right.
Because horses are sound in spite of us a lot of times, right? You know,
Yeah.
like that's my understanding of it.
Yeah.
Like,
true.
I look back at some of the work that I did 3 years ago or even 4 years ago. And it was pretty hacky. Like, it was pretty bad. I was the guy driving low nails and freaking cheating feet. And,
Oh, sorry.
I think all of us could say that.
Yeah,
but
I can't comment on that one because I've done it myself.
well, I think again the story is all kind of the same, but the horse was sound in spite of my lack of knowledge. You know, I did the best that I thought I could at the time. Like I was doing what I thought was the right thing. And then going out and hanging out with guys like you and guys like you, it has been so good for me as far as it's just made I go home from one of these things and I'm just excited to go out and learn a new trick.
Yeah.
Or a new technique. And I mean, because for you, I even watch, you know, you're just on the uptick. You're doing great. And today I watched you talk to Ben Yeager several times and go over the wedge on that one foot and how you were rasping the wedge. I mean, like it's a constant learning experience, you know?
Yeah.
But stare at me, sure. Guys.
Yeah, I'm
like, where do you want me to add to this? Because you're not wrong. It's like,
well, it's don't tell my wife. I'm always wrong. I have a lovely wife. I love you, baby.
Get groveling, mate. Keep going.
Yeah. So you have a girlfriend.
Yeah.
And he is available.
Yes, very available.
Very available.
Single and sampling.
Yeah, I'm a single Pringle, guys.
I think it's interesting because I'm married, girlfriend, enjoy it. No,
It's great. It's great.
No, it'll be great. So how long have you been dating your current girl?
Just about 3 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you're basically married.
Yeah, pretty much, right.
You're basically
For the most part,
yeah.
I guess. But
I did hear you answer the phone. You're like, hello.
Hey, baby.
Yes. Sorry.
Yeah. I'll talk to you later. Love you too.
Yeah. No. You know. If it was up to us, we'd have a couch, a TV, and a fridge.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to keep the beer cool.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know.
No.
So
No, we're good.
you don't partake, really?
No, I mean, I had the rebellious streak that a lot of teenagers have.
So you retired early.
Yeah. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. When I was 18, I moved out of my parents' house and like it was off the tit. So nobody's going to come and save me. So
Right.
I better pull my head out of my ass and get to work and start aiming up. So,
Right. That makes good sense. And I think like you have to be in shape to shoot horses. The guys that get out of shape don't shoot horses very long.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the key to long. Like people ask me all the time, like, how are you going to be able to do this? Like, you better not make this a career. Like, you can't do this forever. And it's like, well, there's guys out there doing it, but they stayed in shape. They took care of their body. They, you know, not that you can't live a little bit, but you got to be smart. And if you're going to be at the top of your game, like, something's got to give, you know,
Yeah.
because I've never been what they call a real good drinker. I'm kind of a lightweight, honestly.
Okay. I mean, I'm a lightweight too.
But I'm a bat, not from what we've heard. There are stories to dictate that you have a black belt and
I'm retired.
I'm retired.
I'm retired. I don't drink anymore.
No, I mean I can drink. I've never been. I think that's actually been that was really good because I just never had I don't have a desire to per se.
Yeah.
Like it just it's like, oh, I can have a drink, or it's like, oh, I don't need a drink. Like same with like I like cigars, but it's like if I don't have a cigar for 6 months,
Yeah.
it's not a big deal. Like I think that's I don't like to feel like something owns me.
Yeah.
You know, if it feels like I can't get by without it,
Mm-hmm.
then I have like a streak that's like, well, now I'm going to get by without it,
Right.
just to prove that I can. You know.
Well, I can drop drink. Like I could go a week without drinking, go a month without drinking.
Right.
Not think of it. And then like people are like, oh, don't you need a drink because you're British? And I go, guys, it's not the end of the world, you know.
Yeah.
It's like,
But like, what would you guys like to do? Like, what's your goal this year?
I would say probably top 5 at Calgary, but the ultimate goal for me is world champion. So that's what I'm aiming at right now. So
Wow.
big goal. Like it.
And you?
Me, my biggest goal is probably to get emigrated over here to America because it's like right now this exchange has like opened my eyes to how people can live and the community that I've found over here, which is incredible compared to some of the communities that I've seen. It's
Right.
like, fuck, it's like everyone is trying their best, everyone's positive, everyone's like, yeah, we'll show you. It's like there's no like, oh, poo-poo, you're not good enough, so you're not going to get told. You know,
It's not like, and it's I would argue that it's not like the news
yes.
portrays it.
Yes.
I mean,
Oh yeah, with the amount of guns I've seen, there should be shootings every other day.
well, you know, I have to watch mine. I stick them in a corner and tell them to stay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Absolutely.
No, I think that was really fun because I like to share. Like I'm a firearms nut,
Mm-hmm.
and I like to share that love with whoever, especially people that haven't got to experience it. So I have an M1 Grand, a World War II 60,000 serial number M1 Grand, and I have a video of Ed walking in on a target, hip shooting.
Missed everyone, by the way.
Yes,
Missed every single
I did too, but you look cool doing it.
Yeah, it's a good fucking video.
Can you imagine though, like, because I was telling Ed this. Have you ever watched the series Band of Brothers?
yeah.
Okay. You know the scene where Winters jumps up on the road and the Germans are all laying on the other side of the ditch, and he starts shooting Germans from the hip.
Yeah.
Can you, like, you've tried it.
I have tried it, yeah.
It, like, the fact that he was shooting Germans that accurately is insane.
Mm.
Like, you have to shoot. Have you shot a gun from the hip?
Yeah.
Yeah. You pretty good at it?
I don't. It's not a goal. I mean.
Oh, you're like, I don't care.
It's not a priority.
So when I used to, so I competed in cowboy mountain shooting, cowboy fast draw, and I used to be able to hit a tin can twice before it hit the ground. Like when I was shooting a lot, I could throw one up and hit it with a 6 gun. And then we would, I like lever guns. I like old guns. I mean, ARs are okay. They're fun. But like how many times can you like sit there and,
yeah.
you know what I mean? Like I like shooting them and I enjoy it, but like at some level it's kind of like, okay, like it's not that, like it's not, I don't know. It just doesn't have as enough. I wouldn't say difficulty because I think you can make it difficult.
I mean, yeah, you can make it difficult. I'm not experienced in guns at all, and I've shot a large variety.
Yeah.
In my time, and in my time here, not. And the AR is good, and especially when you showed me all the modifications for it.
Yeah.
And then we did a few drills with it, which was quite cool. But like the lever action, or I shot a pump shotgun.
Yeah. There's something about
the other week. The pump shotgun's something else in it. It's like You just shoot it, and then that can was there, or that box of what was that explosive stuff called?
Tannerite.
That tannerite, yeah, that tannerite shoots off, and I'm going, shit, I want to do this.
You guys ever shot a propane tank?
Not yet.
Those are fun to shoot.
Hey Wyatt, you got any propane tanks?
It's kind of funny because like I grew up with shooting is such a part of my life. Like I never go anywhere. I always have. It's just every day. Like we shot coyotes on the way to work. Like, my dad grew up taking guns into school. Like that was normal. They'd go hunting after school.
Yeah.
They'd leave their gun in the locker or in the rack, in the back of the window of the truck. And it's kind of funny because there's such a fear of them now, like by people that have never been around. I think it's kind of that way with horses too. There's a lot of misinformation with horses. I think you look at Hollywood and you look at how they portrayed the horse, and everybody thinks Flicka and Spirit and Heartland is how horses are.
Mm-hmm.
And they're just...
I'm trying to remember if I've watched any of them.
Cartoons.
Not worth it.
Okay.
Not
Not
worth it.
worth it.
Heartland, like, it's,
Yeah, that's
not
a
worth it. Yeah.
TV show, isn't it?
Yeah. I had the misfortune, my wife got on a kick during pregnancy, and we watched...
It's like when we it's like you watch it, and it's like when you watch a film, and it's a blacksmith doing things, and they're hitting it, and it's like dull, and it's sparking everywhere, and you're going, nice. Where's that fucking piece of metal that I can use to load everything with? 'Cause I ain't got any of that shit.
The one that got me was there's an episode in Heartland, like it's later in the series, and after this I was like, you can't watch this when I'm around, it's driving me nuts. But there's some shoer, and it, like, rule number 1, you don't go into another guy's barn and like snake clients off him as a whole. Like you don't sit there and try to like take clients away from him, right? Like, just bad business. You can't. There's exceptions, but like this guy walks into the barn, she gets this horse, she lost a shoe, and he's like, I'll tack it back on for you. And she's like, okay. He's like, I think I could really help your horse. Like I think we could really help your horse. I'll do it. I'm here anyway. She's like, well, my farrier will be out next week. He's like, no, I really could do it right now. This is the story. And I'm like sitting there, I'm like, that guy's pissing me off. Like if that was my barn, I'd be pissed. And
sounds like you said those lines a few times, mate.
Me? Yeah, once or twice. Remember, I had a hackery day.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, remember? I was a natural balance guy. I could fix anything with PLR.
Lovely PLRs.
But yeah, and then he goes, he's got arthritis. He goes, I think we can fix it with a bar shoe. And I'm like, and my wife looks at me, thank God, and she goes, that's not right, is it? And I was like, I don't know how the bar shoe is going to help arthritis.
Let's go to Troy, who's the master of shoes. What is the correct shoe?
What is the correct shoe for arthritis?
Depends on the joint.
Yeah, that's very true.
Depends on the location of the arthritis.
Okay, let's go...
Too many hypotheticals.
Yeah, let's go for DIP, the distal interphalangeal joint. Can you remember that one?
That's the bastard, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, our ring bone.
That's
All right, so that's ring bone.
That'd be high ring bone.
Lower bone.
Low ring?
Yeah.
No, that'd be coffin joint. That'd be coffin joint, low ring bone. Yeah.
Distal,
Mhm.
low ring bone, periarticular.
Probably a side bone or a lateral rocker toe. I mean, you keep it simple.
Yeah.
I think most of balance is probably made in the trim, in my opinion.
Definitely.
And then if you can't trim the foot, then trim your shoe.
So what you're telling folks is they need to get a natural barefoot trimmer to trim there.
Yeah. Especially one that has CJF behind their name.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah.
But think about, like, it always amazes me when people go, I'm looking for a trimmer.
Mm-hmm.
Every farrier can trim a foot.
Trimming is the foundation of shoeing.
Yeah. Like we all have to trim.
Yeah.
It's just it is what it is, I guess. But yeah, I guess with the I can't. But with the horses, that's what people are. They view horses as what they've seen on TV. That's the only interaction they have with them. So when and then I think with Yellowstone, a lot of people are buying horses now. because they want to live that lifestyle, right? It's really had an uptick. I think that's actually one of the reasons horse prices are what they are.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know.
I mean, it is technically good for us though, because that means more people.
Absolutely.
So more customers technically.
But yeah, absolutely. But don't you think it makes it a little more, but we also have people entering the field that don't have any background either.
Yes.
So it makes it a little harder.
As long as they're willing to learn, I think, because it's the same type of thing this weekend at the state contest. Like all the novice, they're just entering the field,
Yeah.
but they're all willing to learn, and a student. Like,
Right.
I try to stay a student. I'm sure Ed does.
I learn
You are.
Yeah, for sure.
I know for a fact I know nothing.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I feel like the more you learn, the less you know.
Exactly.
Like the world, it's like before I got in the AFA, I was 8 years in, and I was like, I'm kind of getting this shit figured out. And then now it's 3 years later, and I'm like, shit, I don't know anything.
You've just been skirting around the top for a little bit.
As soon as I stopped thinking I knew, that's when I was ready to learn.
Right. That mindset is probably one of the number one reasons for success. And I think, because I see a lot of young guys who will come through, you know, they see stuff on YouTube or whatever, and of reaching, and they come through and they have a preconceived idea that they can figure this shit out because they figured other stuff out, and they do. You know, they go to shoeing school or they do whatever they're going to do, and they come out of it and they're like, shit, we got this figured. And then they go out in the world and they don't get involved in the AFA or in competition or any other thing.
Well, it happens with the diploma. Like some lads get their diploma, you never hear from them again.
Yeah. They
just disappear off into the corners of England, and you don't see them for maybe 5 years at a time.
Right.
And then they just appear all of a sudden, and they're going to a clinic because they've decided, oh shit, I need to catch up with everything. But that is the good thing about the UK, is we're now required to do CPD every year to progress and maintain.
So you have to do a continued education.
Yeah, so like a competition, an educational day, the Farrier Focus, which is like your convention. We have to basically provide about 20-ish hours of time, because an hour equals half a point, and we need to have 10 points.
Okay.
A year to.
Oh wow.
Maintain to show.
I mean, what do you think as far as the US goes? What would you like to see that way to push education further? Is there a chance that it could put? I mean,
are you talking about like regulation or accreditation?
Yeah.
It's tough because our government's pretty mismanaged as it is. So
what?
I mean,
now Troy, let's not get it. Let's
stay out of the politics.
Now Troy, come on. Way to go.
Come on.
No, but
Let's start raising the flags. Come on. Sorry.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I don't think it would. There's definitely upside to it, but there's also downside to it.
Right.
Like I've had this conversation with a bunch of people from the US, then a bunch of people from England, and like the guys that are competent and like would actually be able to be in that system, they're all for it from the US. But everybody that's already in that system from England, they're like, careful what you're getting into type thing.
Right.
So,
well, it's kind of a two-edged sword.
Yeah.
And to your point, there's nothing more inefficient than the federal government.
Yeah.
I think we just discovered that not too long ago. Our tax dollars have been very well spent over the last 150 years.
It sounds like most governments, mate.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's very easy to spend other people's money.
Yeah.
Yeah. But to your point, yeah. I think what this is where it's really hard is when you see people that could do better. And it's like, if there was something that had to kind of kick them in the ass to do better, rather than them being able to go 15, 20 years.
I've thought about this. Cattle prod.
I do like electricity.
Yeah, or a little shock collar on their ankle.
Yeah.
Every time they make a silly mistake, you just go...
Yeah, can you imagine my life? I'd be like the doctor from Back to the Future. My hair would just be straight out and I'd be gray hair. What's that video? Home Alone when he gets electrocuted in the basement. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, that'd be me. I'd just be sitting there. If it was based on mistakes, I'd just be freaking
Oh, don't worry.
toast.
If I gave Troy the controls and he watched me make a shoe, he'd be like,
Actually,
I just look away.
"You do."
so you know
No,
what?
I'm
That
just
would
kidding.
actually,
You laugh instead.
okay, I'm kind of messed up, but that would be fun to have a contest where you did that, where you had, because it doesn't matter, like whoever's watching can see things that the guy in the moment can't.
Yeah. Perspective is huge.
Yeah.
But then there's also like multiple different avenues that you can take to get to the same result.
Right.
So whoever's holding that shock collar will be pretty unbiased.
But it would be funny.
Just think, we could do it for charity though. Like you can say,
Yeah.
pay $5 for a shock.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't have any money left, would I?
I'd rather sit in a water tank and have like the apple dunk or whatever.
Yeah.
I'd rather do that than
They get shocked.
Yeah, you're making a concave shoe, pulling a clip, and what are you trying to do a nail hole? Fuck!
You guys ever played with hot wire
Not intentionally.
when you were younger?
Not intentionally.
when I was a little kid. My brother, I didn't know what a hot wire was, and he convinced me to pee on it.
I was waiting for that.
Yeah, that was. I learned quick. Yeah.
You ever heard the saying that there's some that can learn by reading, some that can learn by watching, and those that must piss on the electric fence to figure it out for themselves?
Well, I learned many things watching my little brother stand on an electric fence.
We had a hot fence, and many times the joke was to get one of us to touch it going through it. Like that was because nobody wanted to walk all the way up and unplug it, you know. So yeah, we had electricity is very interesting. It does things to the body. I watched my brother hit it one day and he like contorted. It was super cool. It was, he didn't think it was cool because
Can't move.
I don't know how he fell into it. It wasn't, I don't know how that happened. He seemed to think it was my fault since I was standing behind him. He has trust issues to this day.
I can understand why. I mean, I've done it when I was a kid. They electrified this 5-bar gate, and I was climbing up and down the gate. I just jumped on it, and the next thing I know, I'm like, fuck, I'm fucking just stuck there, so I can't get off the gate. And I'm just like, I can't. And then I just fucking fell backwards and go, fuck. This is that 10-year-old me going, what the fuck just happened?
Have you ever ridden a Shetland?
Thankfully not.
You've never ridden a Shetland?
No.
I rode one time because he bucked his little owner off, and I was like, I'll show you. I was back when I was cowboying and shoeing.
Mm-hmm.
And I got on him bareback, and I had him like this, and that little bugger took off running. And it was all I could do to stop him, you know? And it was like, you ever seen somebody lose control of a motorcycle?
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
bouncing because I could almost touch both sides, you know?
Get the death wobble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he
Put on a
freaking
horse.
wrapped me around a tree. There was barbed wire on this side and trees on this side, and I took the trees and I met him coming the other way. Because when I hit the tree, it snapped him around and he came around and ran into me coming the other way. I couldn't walk for 3 days.
Man.
Couldn't go up downstairs. Like, I don't know what he did to me, but I took a kidney shot or something. I don't know. I bruised something and hurt the hell out of something. And people were like, oh my God, did you get bucked off? And I was like, yeah. What bucked you off? Shetland. little 3 foot tall.
Ball of hate.
Yeah. There's not a lot to hold on to with those little buggers.
No.
And they're so roly-poly, you know.
Yeah. Trimming them's not much fun.
No.
I'd rather trim 2 saddle horses than a pony.
I mean, you do tower over us, Troy, so you've
Yeah,
got to get
yeah.
Do you get down on your knees to trim them? Like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
for the fronts, and then I'll put their hind foot between my legs like a normal front foot.
Oh, really?
Trim it like that.
see, I get down and I actually like sit on my knees and then I wrap them over just like a hind foot and do them that way.
Yeah, that probably work good too.
It works out all right. And then the only bad thing is if they blow sideways, like, or go out and they actually kick, your back's right there
Yeah,
and that can sting a mite. But
yeah.
I guess they could.
I'd just get kicked in the legs if they tried that.
Yeah.
Are you saying he's short now?
You mean the ankle, don't you? How tall are you, Troy?
I'm 6'4".
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I watching you swing a hammer, like your hammer's coming from like way up here
Yeah.
and coming down. And
It's funny. I was kind of a late bloomer growing up, so I don't feel like I'm like tall or Gumby or anything. Like I still think I'm fairly athletic, so I don't think I'm uncoordinated.
right.
I guess I should say, but I don't know. I don't notice it too much, and I don't think my back hurts any more than yours or Ed's. Like,
No.
it's
Well,
just,
I think that goes back to the being in shape part.
yeah,
Really, if you think about it.
I've been on a great diet recently.
Yeah, you've been making the rounds.
I have. Yeah. I felt great.
you look great.
Fine. I feel fat as fuck, boys.
Is it just one of the like? Well, shit, Bodie and Craig and
Yeah, I think Bodie's taller than me by an inch or two, so he's got to be 6'5" or 6'6" or something.
oh, jeez.
But Craig is probably my same height.
He's taller.
Yeah,
But again, I think it goes like all of them are skinny as a rail. Like,
yeah.
I think that's because every bit of muscle that's mostly fat. But if you're over, like I was shoeing for a Green Beret, and he was saying that the worst mistake he ever made in his career was the summer before selection, before he was going to Special Forces school. He got bulked up and like ripped and did the whole bodybuilder thing.
Lost his cardio.
And he said it about killed him because not just, I mean, he was still running, but he said when he went to selection, it just like, he said all that extra mass trying to pack that around up and down hillsides
Yeah,
was just he's like, I damaged my body permanently from doing that.
yeah.
You know, I don't think the human body is really meant to be like extremes. Extremes aren't good for it.
It's not like your skeleton gets bigger when you get fat.
Yeah, or it's not like I did close quarters combat for a while, and when we were talking about like using a knife, your skeleton, your tendons, your ligaments, and your bones all support. If you're 6 foot, your bone density and mass is pretty much the same as any other 6 foot person. So if you're 6 foot, 250 pounds, and I'm 6 foot and 150 pounds, and let's say I cut the 250 pound guy, he won't be able to move as much because he's got more muscle to move. So if I cut a muscle, it's going to be that much harder for him to actually get muscle going.
And the body is also just so much more under strain, just general day-to-day tasks.
Right.
So the amount of wear and tear in joints, ligaments.
Completely kind of a subject change, but it does make me curious because as Americans, we're kind of known for overeating and obesity. Do you find, is the UK have similar issues, or are they different?
Yes. We have a lot of big people. Fitness is a thing, but what I've noticed over here is the food isn't as healthier.
Okay.
Like everything is packed full of sugars, carbs, everything.
Right.
England on general is a lot healthier with just what you can buy at the shop without thinking.
Right.
But honestly, it's all down to your diet and what you do with yourself. And people are making more of a conscious effort over here to eat healthier.
Right.
Whereas back home, we're just like, oh, fuck it, we'll go drink some more pints and stuff like that. We'll work it off, stuff like that. So, but yeah, over here, I've noticed people like, oh, I'm not going to drink this, I'm going to drink this.
Do you think alcohol is a bigger part in the UK
Yes.
than it is here?
Yeah, I mean, it's just like you go to the pub to meet your mates. Then you go to the pub the night before the competition to meet everyone, have a few pints, and obviously a few pints turn into more than a few pints, and then all of a sudden it's 2 a.m. and you're like, oh shit, a few pints deep now, I've got to go make a fucking corporal motion.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of funny because I think as a whole, like especially like in Idaho, they're pretty proud of their drinking. Like I said,
Yeah.
like we think we can drink.
It's definitely a socially accepted thing.
Yeah.
And it's weird when you don't drink. People
Yeah.
are like, do you have a problem? And I'm like, no, I just don't drink.
It's the same.
I learned a trick a long time ago from a guy that I worked for. I will never turn a drink down. So
Yeah.
like people, like if I go out and they're like, "Hey, you want a drink?" I'll like get a drink. And usually if I don't want to drink that night or whatever, I'll just keep adding soda to it. Like I'll go up to the bar and they'll say, "What do you want?" And I go, "I just want some Coke," you know. And no one knows that you're just adding Coke to
Yeah,
it.
but now I know.
Now you know, and now everyone knows. But yeah, I've done that for years, and it's super funny because my personality is such that people think I'm freaking smacked off my ass. So I've had people go like, they're like, "Oh my God, you were trash last night." I'm like, and then, but it works out good for blackmail super well because your friends are like, "I don't remember what happened."
Let's not get drunk around Caleb.
It's okay.
Yeah.
There's a brother code here.
There's a brother code.
Yeah,
Okay.
I can't divulge.
I think I'll be all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't divulge anything that happens. That's just, it's like attorney-client privilege.
Yeah. Yes.
But and Troy's like, don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
You're not going to get nothing on me.
No. Yeah.
Troy's just going to judge us.
Whatever.
That's not about. You ever go to the bar? Like I go to the bar a lot. So like when I met my wife's like a little bit of a gangster. Like she likes, and like we'll go to the bar, and I'm just like sitting there. She's having a good time. Like she likes to dance. I don't dance. I look like a one-legged stork. Like I look terrible. I have no sense of rhythm. I'm white as white can be. Like I don't jump.
With 2 left feet.
Yeah. I can't do nothing, man. And well, you do have a little bit because you guys have socialized medicine. That's pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's great for like emergencies. Like, say you break your leg, ambulance picks you up, takes you to hospital, sorts you out. Great. Or like a serious accident, you get sorted out straight away. But say you've got a bad hip, like in our job, our body wears out.
Right.
Like you hear about lads getting surgeries for the knees, the hips,
Right.
something like that. Some people have to wait 4 years or something.
Oh wow.
So it's like emergencies, great. Preventative care, it's like maybe some people go private to get it done quicker.
Yeah.
So it's a bit like, well, why don't we just stay private?
Right.
It's like one of those balancing acts. Which one do you really need?
Right. No, it's fascinating because I think I like the idea of being able to succeed on my own merit, succeed or fail.
Yeah.
Like there really isn't success if there's no chance of failure. Like
Right.
if I can't, like what's the point?
Yeah.
What's the point to everything you do if you're not going to have a chance to fail at it?
There wouldn't be one. You need to have that leap of faith.
Right.
Yeah.
I think I've said that I've made this statement that there's really I don't really believe in political parties per se.
Yeah, I agree.
It's just I don't know. I think both parties are corrupt.
I don't know your parties.
Yeah.
I'm going to go bye-bye.
But I mean, as a whole, I think politicians are corrupt. I don't think they're better.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, it's your career.
Yeah.
And if someone said you can have a career which is highly successful,
Yeah.
or you can speak your mind and you can be gone by the end of the year, what would you choose?
Right. Well, I think that's where if you look at the founding fathers of this country, the original idea was that it wasn't a career. You had a job, you showed up to Congress or the House for a month and went home and did your regular job.
Yeah.
There really wasn't an incentive to do it.
Right.
And then, now, I mean, they're getting a stipend of $250,000 a year. I think that's the current rate. I'd have to double check that. But, they're getting paid, they're getting health care, and then a lot of them are making a lot more money.
With all the insider trading stuff that they're able to do. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's kind of crazy because, like, I have a few stocks, nothing nothing that impressive. But, I mean, they're making trades 2-3 days before something happens.
Yeah. You need to just follow what Nancy Pelosi does.
I know.
You'll be set.
But I think that's where American politics as a whole has done us dirty, because I'm not a believer in politics. I don't really believe in the two party. I think there's two kinds of people. There's those kinds of people who want safety and security, and they want to get safety and security through a shadowy entity that will provide it for them. They want someone to provide them with the safety and security that they want. And that's how they feel about life. And then there's the other kind of person who believes that he will provide or she will provide their safety and security through their own merit.
Right.
And those two ideologies clash so heavily because they kind of tailor out into everything. So those two, and you can probably have some variations, some colors of those two, grays and whites and things like that, black, whatever. You can have there's a spectrum there for sure. But as a whole, those two kinds of people, and when they approach a problem, that's how they approach it.
Yeah. So
like one person is like, I'll call the cops when I get in trouble. And the other person's like, I'll call the cops after I've dealt with the problem.
Yeah.
Which in this area, our cops, like you guys have a much, I would argue you have a higher law enforcement density than here.
Yes, we do, but we are a small country compared to you guys.
Yeah.
I mean, they are stretched thin compared to others.
Is it because your population density is pretty?
Oh yeah, we've got like 70 million people in the place effectively the size of Oregon.
Wow, it's kind of crazy to think about that, because like here I get pissy if I have to drive and I've got 5 cars in front of me.
Mate, that's normal.
Yeah, because you're kind of, so you don't have the commute like.
I probably put on 100 miles a day.
Really?
With my truck, yeah, I do.
But not like in traffic, like.
No, it's all county roads.
Do you do a lot of gravel or?
Decent amount, yeah. There's not too many stops that I have that are like nice barns with concrete and cross ties.
I've seen because I've seen one. What was the video you and Gavin were practicing out at some barn?
Oh, that was my best friend. Where I keep my horse and all my practice horses. That was up at his place last year. But I have a horse trailer now, so I just haul them to the shop and we loop them to the forklift on the propane tank. So if they pull back, they're not going to do any damage, but we don't bring any rank ones there. So
yeah.
But
what do you ride? Like, do you rope?
I used to kind of just be the test dummy for my neighbors on their cattle ranch. And so I'd get on all the horses that they didn't want to get on or that was bucking everybody off. And I was dumb enough to call the horses bluffs. And
were you sticky?
Barely, but I landed on my head quite a few times. That's probably why I wanted to be a horse shoer.
Yeah, that's the start, boys. You fall on your head.
I see a trend, man, because I get a brain damage myself. I've been stomped twice. I had one flip over on me. So I had this Appy, short coupled, and he was freaking cool. Like, he was quick and he was good with cows, and we had horses out on the highway. So they didn't tell me. I was like, go get my horses for me so I can catch these horses, and I'll kind of keep them off the highway with the cops. And so they went. Nobody told me that when they cinched him up that morning, he started bucking. And mind you, at this point, he'd already life flighted one guy. Like, he could flat come uncorked, and it was pretty impressive.
Mm-hmm.
But I was younger and thought it was pretty badass. So he got him. I jumped him out of the trailer, freaking hit the cinch, threw a leg over him, and freaking bumped him to go down the road. And he freaking made 2 hops. And I kind of come out of the saddle a little bit, and I hooked in with my spurs, and I could feel him get mad. And he just buried his head and just went to pounding it. And I mean, I was sitting right in the middle of him. Like, I was like, yeah, I have him. And I was sitting there like this, and the cheek strap on the bridle snapped. And so I was sitting like this, and all of a sudden my hand just goes flying by my head. I still got the bridle in my hand.
But your ejecto seat, cuz.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so when that happened, I went like this and reached for the horn. Well, he flipped over backwards and hit the ground, and I caught him before he got off the ground and had his halter. And I turned to my sister who was at the horse trail and I was like, get me another bridle. Because I was kind of pissed at this point. I was like, I'm going to get back on this thing. And I said, get me another bridle. And that's the last thing I remember. Because he got up on his hind feet and tapped me in the back of the head, spun me around, hit me in the face, and got me on the ground and went after me. And they got him off me. And I woke up in my buddy's truck. And then I couldn't quit puking, so they took me to the hospital. But that was...
Dang.
Yeah, like that. I've had two situations where I've been knocked out like that. The first one, I don't remember. I still don't remember the day. It took me 2 weeks to remember.
Yeah.
That week, the weekend.
Yeah.
That is intense, isn't it?
Yeah. Things are adding up.
It does explain a lot about it.
It's all starting to. The math is mathing.
Yeah. I'm going to be a bit more patient with you now.
Yeah, well, they did give me helmets as a kid to keep me from licking the windows, you know. But what's your worst wreck?
Just like landing on my head and getting a concussion. Like I never really got knocked out.
Yeah.
Like it was more just stupid acting horses. I was never around anything like crazy rank,
Right.
thankfully. But
That's...
yeah, like I've started a few colts, and the biggest thing I learned was what not to do. So
I've found that because I was a colt starter before I got into shoeing, I found that the ones that got me the worst was when it was day number 30.
Mm-hmm.
They were just about to go home. We had a pretty good go. And that's when there's a difference between a scared bucker and a pissed bucker.
yeah,
Like a scared bucker, they want you off their back and they're working to get you off their back, but they're not really thinking about it.
right.
They're in flight mode. They're like, I just want to get away.
Yeah,
And a pissed horse that's bucking, they're actually they're actually putting some thought into what they're going to do.
mm-hmm.
Like, at least that's been my impression.
Yeah.
I rode Appies, so I have those stories.
There's your big problem there.
Yeah.
Yes.
not nice ones. Do you ride it?
Used to event and used to break horses in, but I was very lucky and fortunate that anything that was being malicious, we didn't fuck about with. We
Right.
just said it wasn't suitable.
Oh.
And well, this is after some education. We educated the horses, and then we had like things coming from like Holland and stuff like that, and you throw a saddle on the back and get them used to the saddle and stuff. And if it took them longer, it took them longer for the harder ones. But it's not as rough as what you guys had to do.
Do you guys round pen or anything like that?
Yeah, so we just had a little round pen. We just start by just throwing them around in the round pen, getting used to the bridle, used to having the bit of the mouse, and then we'd have someone jump on the back and stuff. And it's like it was whoever was bravest or whoever was earning the most.
Were they mostly like warm bloods?
Yeah, thoroughbreds, warm bloods.
I feel like warm bloods. My impression of them is that they're a little easier sometimes than some other breeds.
I don't know. It depends. If they get their blood up and they decide to be arses,
They can't.
then you're fucked. It's like it's all down to how your horsemanship is with them.
Because a lot of the res horses are Appaloosas for me where I'm at, and they're crossed with Alcatikis. They're a Turkmenistan.
I'm gonna
horse.
nod.
They're kind of like an Arab. They're considered like one of the oldest horses. The Arabs and Alcatikis are arguing over who's the oldest horse breed in the world. And the Alcatiki's a high mountain desert horse. They have kind of a special kind of fur that makes them super, super, super shiny. It's kind of hollowed out. At least that's the way I've been told. But they can be really goofy. So like when you ride quarter horses like to put all 4 feet together and just go straight up and down. That's their idea of bucking.
Mm-hmm.
Alcatikis like to launch. Thoroughbreds are kind of that way. They'll
launch or they go sideways or up.
Yeah, but I broke quite a few I worked with wild horses for that 5 years on the res because they never touch anything until they're 2 or 3, and sometimes later.
Do you think any of the lessons you learned training horses translate over into your process of learning how to like make shoes and be a better farrier? Of like you teaching them is
I think it definitely, like, horse handling is such a big part
Yeah.
of what we do, and being able to read the horse, stay calm.
But then the emphasis on basics too,
Yeah.
of like not trying to rush anything, and
Yeah.
because a lot of guys
Slow down.
A lot of guys are like, I want to make a roadster. It's like you should really be making a plain stand. Like the basics with horses.
Maybe just
Yeah.
toe bends, to be honest with you. Sometimes.
Yeah.
Paul did that to me, and
Yeah.
still does every once in a while. He'll see something. He's like, do 20 toe bends, then we'll talk.
Yeah.
Because 20 toe bends in a row, do them right.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I find that's where I struggle, like today working with Ryan and Trey. And I know I need to go faster, but I know if I go faster, that things start to fall apart on me.
Right. There's a happy medium. You want to have 100% quality, even if that means 50% speed or 30% speed, then you stay at 100% quality if you can.
Well, it was like me today at the competition. At first, I tried to get as much quality in as possible. I sorted that out. Then the clock was going, so then I had to just trade in and just went for speed and get it done.
Right.
Because the last thing I need to do is do a big fat zero and not provide something,
Right.
or I could at least get something manageable and decent
Right.
Mm-hmm.
that's going to get us a mark. That's not going to drag us down.
Well, I think we've all been under a horse where it went from, I'm going to do the best job I can today to,
I'm going to survive.
Yeah, pretty much.
well, and I think there's a real problem because clients, I don't think clients understand. This goes back to what we were talking about earlier about people not understanding the horses, and they have this Hollywood idea. We've gone from livestock. They think they're like a dog. They're 1,200 to whatever, 1,500, 1,700 pound animal who can cripple you.
Do damage easily, even when they're not trying to be bad.
Right. Yeah, I mean, how many horses have blowed up with you under them? It's not really their fault. Somebody does something stupid.
I know one in particular.
Yeah, Ed did a horse when he was with me, and it jerked its foot away, and he's got a scar from it now.
Sliced my chin up, yeah.
Oh wow.
But I almost got kicked in the face probably a month ago now down in Texas. I was shooting with Matt Findler doing this barrel horse. I reached down for a back leg, and it kind of stood on it. Then I pulled a little harder, and it kicked through my armpit and right up past my face. I was like, holy cow. Like, I hadn't been scared like that for a while.
You get humbled real quick.
Yeah.
So here's a question that get a little deep. Do you have a faith?
Yeah.
No. I don't personally. But that's just I wasn't brought up with one.
No, I mean, I'm just curious because I feel like I'm not saying it, for me, it's like I've had so many close calls like that. I'm like, Dad, there's no way I just got here on my own. Like, is it luck? Is it fate?
Who knows? I mean, you might be lucky, you might not. It's like, you want to spend all the time working and worrying about it, or do you want to...
I do think there is, I mean, I do have my dad was 56 when he died. Lived healthy, jogged every day, did all the things right. Gone, right?
It was his time.
Yeah. And so it's like, at the end of the day, minimize your risk. Don't be stupid.
Yeah. But God's going to look out for you, and he has a plan.
Right.
And everything happens for a reason. So
Yeah. And I think, like I said, my question wasn't a right and wrong question.
Oh, no.
It's more of I'm just curious because I think, you've had close calls,
yeah.
and it definitely has affected how I view the world,
Mm-hmm.
Especially since I had my son.
Mm-hmm.
I had a shotgun turned on me last fall.
Dang.
That's something, isn't it? It's like,
And it's kind of the first time in my life where I was like, I actually don't want to see where this goes. Like previously, when I was younger, I'm like, cool, fuck it, today's the day. Like, that sounds really bad. I don't mean that. It's not like a brag, or it's not that.
You've got more to lose. You're raising
Yeah.
your kid. You've also got a wife to provide for as well.
Right.
Like, you've got a lot more to lose
Yeah.
compared to what, 2, 3, 4 years
Yeah.
back. You had a girlfriend. You're just like, fuck it.
The current girlfriend 2 or 3 years back would have been lucky.
Yeah.
If I
Exactly. You know, it's like
turn that shotgun. Give me. Don't miss. Don't miss.
Dear.
No, but I think I do think it's kind of crazy because there is a sense of bulletproof when I was in my 20s.
Yeah.
Because I didn't have those responsibilities and those.
It takes a few close calls, I think, to wisen up a little bit.
It's when you get dragged under a horse and the only reason that you live is that they decided not to put their weight on your stomach.
Right.
And stand on you. That's when you realise, fuck, I'm just at the mercy of this.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it literally comes down to, and I make the joke that I'm like, is it better to be good or lucky? And some days, I don't care how good you are. Like, I don't know if it's a guardian angel, whatever you want to call it, luck, whatever you want to call it. But I've had horses come down and I'm sitting there like,
still in one piece.
Yeah. You're like, I had a horse
Still here.
I had a horse flip over on top. I've had so many close calls over the years that I always used to joke like I was a cat with 9 lives. I couldn't and there's a certain feeling of invincibility. Like it's always going to happen to the other guy. I think you have kind of that attitude.
Yeah.
And then and then it's like, well, it will happen to me someday. You kind of change.
I mean, a big thing for me was when I realised, wow, I'm self-employed now. I'm responsible for feeding myself and there's no one else there to fall back on.
Just get on welfare, man.
Yeah, well, mate, hey, in England, that's what you do. You just tick the box, yeah, I'm crippled. And then there you go. You've now got more money than I have every month. I'm joking. But it's like
there are people though that are like, I don't know who did it. I forget who did it locally in my hometown. And they friggin' figured out how much one of the homeless guys was making standing on a street corner.
Yeah.
He was making more than me at the time. And I'm like, you don't even have to you just sit there with a sign.
You wouldn't have the self-satisfaction. You wouldn't.
No.
I couldn't do that.
There's pride. You can tell the difference with someone that wants to take pride in their work and someone that's like, fuck it, I just want to go home.
Right.
There is two differences in that.
Well, there is something to be said for what we do because we succeed or fail. If we do a good job, we get to go home, and we get to go home with. If we start learning and doing better, we start making more money. If we do extra horses, we make more. It's kind of cool that way because we get kind of a little bit instant gratification. Whereas someone who works a factory job, maybe they do a good job for 10 years, but they never really get to see the end product.
Right.
You get to see each horse, you get a brand new horse on the schedule. It's like, oh my God, these feet are really in tough shape. Haven't been done in forever. And then over the next 6-month period, you get to see those feet get better.
Yeah.
You get to see that horse move better, get more comfortable.
Or just a simple basic shoeing job that everyone's scratching their head around and you just apply the basics.
I have found that since I started this process, my toolbox, because I used to say, I need all these tools in my toolbox.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm finding that I need less and less tools.
You need to be the best tool in your truck.
Yeah.
Listen to him for this one because we had this conversation when I was with him. Because I was like, Troy, why don't you have this? Or why wouldn't, just to make your life a slightly bit easier. And he's like, well, I want to be the best tool in the truck, even if it means working a bit harder.
Yeah. I've got a pretty simple setup. Forge, anvil, grinder, and mostly handmades in the shoe rack. Yeah. But I don't make many at the horse. Usually I make shoes in the shop for specific horses, but I want to try to be efficient at the horse, and basics solve problems at the end of the day. You can't reinvent the wheel.
Right.
So
it's kind of crazy because when you saw my setup, I got my anvil and I got a little forge and I got a wheel to sharpen my knives and a grinding wheel. And I probably should take that grinding wheel out and put a vise in mine.
No.
Well, just put a vice in there at least,
Maybe
and
put
try
a
to
vice
do
in there,
one or
but
two horses a day.
There's a
with the
difference
vice.
between getting a new rotator cuff and.
That's true. That's fair. I might be a little over ambitious there,
Yes. I mean, the only difference between my setup and Troy's is I've got a drill press,
I do have a drill press in mine.
but mine are majority machine made shoes because it's cheaper to buy.
Do you do a lot of studs or anything like that? Pads?
Yeah.
In the wintertime, I mostly put like boreum on sharp shoes and stuff, and I just get the core stuff, and that seems just fine. Get no complaints.
Do you put it on in the forge, or do you brace it on?
Put it on in the forge. Yeah. If I had clients that needed shoes drilled and tapped, then I could easily put one in my truck, but I just don't have the need. So
Isn't it crazy though to think about, like, it's such an amazing transformation for me. Like I'm brand new in it, right? Like I'm going through that. Like, oh shit, I was just opening closing shoes and putting them on, And now, like, I go to a client's house and it's like, I was at a client's house and I'm like, I don't have that size of shoe. Okay. I'll make one. Or I'll fuller out a branch. Or I'll stretch one. Or I'll whatever.
To me, that's the difference between a farrier and a horseshoer. Because a farrier is able to think outside the box to get the job done. A horseshoer, shoes on horse.
And still maintain a standard.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that horse we did today, Brian and Trey and Jill and me, we went to pull the front shoe and it was sitting that far off the lateral heel. The shoe was not even covering the lateral heel by that much.
Ours weren't too bad, actually. It was just...
They were covered, but they weren't fit. But
they were overdue. There was a smother and cover job.
But I think what happened with that one, like you could see what happened. He didn't have enough shoe. He just didn't have enough steel to cover. So he just nailed on what he had. But because guys will say, have you ever heard the one, well, I never lose shoes. Well, then are you fitting feet? Because, like, if you're not fitting, like, I bet that horse will never pull a shoe if you're not covering the heel and you're nailing it inside the freaking...
Ignorance is bliss, man.
Yeah, as long as it's sound. What do you think?
Again, crazy, the horse was sound. Like, walked in. And I don't think... I've said this to some clients because they're like, well, what's the big deal with this? I'm like, it's not today or tomorrow or next year. But when this horse is 17, 18 years old...
Yeah. Well, a good analogy that I learned on my travels from Paul, you can change the oil in your engine and it'll last longer, or you can top it up.
Right.
Which way is the engine going to last longer? Topping it up every so often when it's low, or changing the oil completely? It's one of those, and it can be transferred over to the horse in the fact that the difference between someone not fitting a heel or just doing the basics is so much rewarding to the horse compared to just missing that slight thing.
Right. Or like an older horse that's starting to get lame.
Yeah.
If you have let's say a rock in your boot and it really hurts where it's at, and the rock moves a little bit, and you're like, that feels better. Right. The rock's still there at the end of the day.
Right.
So.
Well, it's kind of crazy because, again, like I do think that's like being the best tool in your truck, and it's such a different mindset than I'm going to carry all these different things as tools to fix something.
Right.
And I think there's a difference between, like I've noticed, I think it was Andrew Wells at the spring contest last year that said we all want to think that we're out here saving horses' lives. Like, arrogantly, we would like to think that we're that good. And he goes, honestly, if you're shoeing horses properly, you're just doing the basics. And if you're just doing the basics, you're doing what every other good farrier's doing. So you're not special.
Right.
And that coming to the realization that you're not special.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I feel that.
Because, like, that once I got out of my own head, like, that was the thing, like, some of the mentors that I had, we were special because we were doing stuff that no one else could do.
Right.
And now it's like, well, I'm not doing anything else than anybody else that has skill.
I mean, I come over here. I work with Troy. Troy says, is there any different that I'm doing? I'm going, no, mate. You're not doing anything different that I'm doing. This is across the world. And the vast majority of people that I've worked with bear in mind a bit of shininess or an eighth or a 3/16th of fit. It's the same fucking job.
Right.
5,000-6,000 miles across the world.
It's kind of cool to see. What's really neat is that a client, when those horses walked out of the contest today, is that as a whole, with some exceptions, but on all of the open guys, and I would say the vast majority of the intermediate guys, you couldn't tell, as someone who wasn't a farrier, that there were two different guys working on those front feet. Like,
depends on the team.
Yeah, yeah.
But I mean, Troy and Trey and Brian, I felt like they matched pretty good. I guess I didn't look at everybody's.
I mean, my nails are low, but I was running on time. I was tight, so I just thought, let's get it safe, get it done. I mean, I was clenched up, everything finished. I was done within 2 minutes. I had 4 minutes left to do a toe bend. Well, I had to do 4 minutes left to do a toe clip and bend a branch and nail hole on that specimen.
Right.
So I couldn't have taken the heel nail out to make it a line.
Right.
I couldn't have.
But again, a client, the clients that had those horses couldn't have looked at those shoes. They might, that one looks shiny or whatever, but
An untrained eye
is
Yeah,
not
they
the
would.
difference.
They'd have seen shoes on feet and gone, yeah, cool.
But I think that because I was explaining to someone the other day, and I think it's so cool. I'm like, none of these horses leave a contest, a certification without having an acceptable pair of shoes on. They might not all look the best. There might be some problems, but they're safe. They're good for the horse as far as there's nothing harmful to that horse that day. In most cases, what I've noticed is that the work is superior to what they came in with.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because a lot of these horses they're not on a schedule with a certified or CJF or a worshipful company of farrier. They're not. They're getting done by your local backyard guy, and they're like, oh, we're going to get a deal.
Yeah. It's a cool thing because the contest is set up with training wheels of people like tomorrow in the shoeing, all the open guys are going to coach the novice guys,
right?
Just like I did for you a few years ago. Like,
exactly.
If you were going to do anything that was going to like bleed that horse or make it lame, I was going to stop you well before.
Yes.
It's like me when I was at the novice at Chalice. It was a big eye opener seeing exactly what you said. And I was watching this guy and he was like about to take the shoe to the foot and he wasn't level in one way, shape or form. And I was just like, you need to level that foot because I won't let you go and fit with it unless you level it. And as soon as he figured that I wasn't going to let him anywhere near until he leveled that shoe, he then decided to actually level the shoe and then he fitted it up.
Well, and that's what's so cool is like I learned so much from that experience. That was really my first going out and doing something. Like I was working on my shoe board, I was doing stuff like that, but that was the first time I went under a clock and like had people judge my work, right? Other than Paul or and it was fascinating. Like the thing that got me was that you kept me busy the whole time. Like you helped me with time management because I have a problem with that. You kept me focused. And then you showed me things that I couldn't even see. Same thing happened today with Brian.
Yeah.
Brian Strader. I should get his last name in here, give him a little credit. But same thing happened with Brian Strelo today because he's like, dude, I do so many dumb things. Sometimes I look at my life and go, what the fuck? Because he's like, take a pencil to that shoe so you know where to rasp. I was like, cool. So like I marked it because I had burned it. So I just marked it and then quenched it. And Brian goes, you're almost smart. And I'm like, okay. And he goes, go put the shoe on the foot and mark it. And then you can see it even better. And I'm like, like light bulb, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, oh, that was kind of because the burn, he was moving well. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't a great burn. I was afraid I was going to, which I probably would have lost it. But that made good sense. And then when I boxed it, he talked to me about how I was boxing. I was doing short you were talking about that earlier. You hate that when guys just do
Use 3 inches of the rasp.
Yeah. And they're not doing nice flow because it gets the divots and the chewed up marks and,
Right.
you know, and that's something, again, so guys that aren't going to these contests, look at what they're missing.
Yeah. Isolation, they just fall into their daily habits, and the muscle memory gets more and more prominent as time goes on.
Well, you can't see what you don't know.
No. And everybody's one-sided. Like right-handers, they trim I'm pretty sure left side of the foot more, and left-handers trim the right side of the foot more.
Well,
Yeah. Well, that's evidence.
and Brian helped me with, because today they're like, which foot do you want? And I was like, I really wanted the right, because I find that I'm faster or not the right, I'm faster on the left. Just the angle of it, I feel like I can find level and balance better, faster. It's probably in my head mostly, but the right foot I always struggle with that one. So I was like, well, let's do that one. So I did that one, and Brian went over some of that with me, over the balance and like kind of how to look at it, how to assess it faster. I think that was kind of interesting, like, because he'll just take a mark or two and go, and then here's your high spots, fix them.
Yeah.
And then you can kind of see them, that just highlights them for you.
Yeah. Yeah. It's funny, like all the guys that are like really good and have these good businesses, they're pretty systematic in what they do every day. And to be efficient, you need to be systematic.
Yeah.
You can't be hemming and hawing about what to do next underneath the horse. You need to have that system, and then you need to improve that system time and time and time again. And then it's just muscle memory at the end of the day. And then you just roll through the day way faster than you would without that system. So,
well, I see it, and it's been interesting because like looking at the way you guys, like I've been working on trimming feet better. And then I saw some of your guys' work and how you guys are knifing out. And I'm like, God, you guys really do. It's not that you're even taking it, like you don't take it any shorter. If anything, you're leaving more, but you're doing more with less.
well, you trim where it needs to be trimmed,
Right.
and leave what wants to be left.
That's what people forget as well. Like, minimal is better.
Right.
Like, anyone can take a foot down to nothing
Right.
and then throw a shoe on it. It's deciding how much strength to leave for the job required. How much do you want to leave the width and length? How much do you want to maintain that sole? How much do you want to pull those flares back
Yeah.
to do that? And well, it's just like, you don't need to do everything all in one visit.
Yeah.
Right.
Everybody has a shape they like, and
Yeah.
they have their own agenda with the foot, and like people should just be reading it like a book.
Right.
Like, what does this foot want me to do? It has its sole plane it's exfoliated from the apex of the frog all the way up to the hoof wall, usually in the front half. A lot of times they'll have a toe callus, and then in the widest point to widest point, that's where it's kind of washed out.
Right.
And then heel stacking up, and you just read it like a book, and make sure you don't overdo it, and make sure that you preserve vertical depth. Have a nice cup.
Right. Yeah.
Most
Don't
guys-
get too short.
Most guys just try to trim the whole solar arch out of it, and they
just
have no
get it
ground
flat,
clearance.
And
Yeah.
then they're like, oh, I've got sole pressure. Oh,
Yeah.
I've got nothing to burn with.
I need to put a pad on now.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know what y'all are talking about.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, leave room for error. I don't mean leave
Yeah.
fucking inches of foot. I mean just
But you can get away with leaving a foot 1/8 of an inch long, and not cause serious harm. But if you take 1/8 of an inch short,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's that fine line. It's not an eighth. It's not maybe a 16th. But it's
Yeah.
like you can leave enough on for a good bird.
Right. It's not that you try to leave feet long, and so many people fall down the rabbit hole of like, I'm going to perimeter fit this foot, like fit what you trim. And so many people, they think like preserve the foot and not trim enough. And then they end up having this long foot with this perimeter fit. So it's like,
Right.
it's due at the beginning of the cycle.
right?
Like,
Well, and I think that comes down to, because I find myself waffling a little bit because of where I am in the journey per se. You know, 1 month, you know, somebody will be, hey, you know, you're leaving feet a little too long. Like I'll go somewhere like, you could have been more aggressive. So I go home and I get a little more aggressive and I get better. And then somebody goes, you know, you could leave them a little more foot. you've gotten a little bit the other way.
Yeah.
And I've noticed that the margin is getting smaller and smaller. It's not, oh, you're leaving this one a little too long and you didn't address distortion. And then this one, you're too much. And, maybe you're too much by 1/8 here and not enough by 1/8 here. And then it's a 16th and then it's a little, you know what I mean? And it goes back and forth. But maybe that's the learning process.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's just figuring it out.
It's just doing it, but not doing it blind, doing it
Right.
intelligently and
Well, and all these guys,
engaging your brain.
I get these comments online and it kind of drives me nuts because they'll go, well, I had a gal at the shop the other day, she stopped by, and there's like nobody over where we're at. We have Paul and Billy Lovell and Clint Woods is up in Lenore. But so she was like, can I come down and hang out for the day? I was like, yeah, absolutely. So she was telling me, she's like, well, we didn't shoot AFA today. Or no, she said she was working with a guy and he's like, we're not shooting AFA today. And I was like, oh, okay. I was like, so we don't want good nail lines and nice high nails? And she said, no, we wanted that. I said, okay, cool. I said, we didn't want to fit with intention, like, shape to the foot. She goes, oh no, we wanted to do that. I said, okay. I said, we didn't want a flat, balanced trim. She's like, no, we wanted that. I said, so what part of AFA aren't you fitting to? Like, are you talking to, and what they mean mostly is the perimeter fit thing. I'm like, if you can't perimeter fit feet, like, are you really backing it off the toe because you meant to? Like, are you really intentionally?
No, that's because it's the way that the shoe came, and it's
Yeah.
easier to just pop it open or close it just to get under the heels, and you slide it back, and good enough.
Yeah.
It fits.
There's no intention to it. So I think that's where I think you guys set stuff off the toe. You can. You do.
Try not to. If your trim is right, then you shouldn't need to.
But I mean,
I mean, like on a hind foot, yeah, like if it's quarter clipped, then you safe it a little bit. You half the thickness of the wall, but I'm not.
But that's
crazy.
my point. Is like you can assess a foot and go, you might not do it every time.
Yeah.
But you might look at a foot and go, I'm going to set it off the toe a little bit here, or do this a little bit, or change this a little bit.
Yeah.
But it's intentional.
It is intentional.
Unsupported hoof wall dies.
Yeah.
So when you set it back and bevel it like that, you come back at the end of the cycle, it's all dubbed off, looks like junk,
Right.
and you don't have any toe you need to trim.
Right.
So setting shoes back is not the answer.
Right.
It's respecting hoof capsule.
Right.
So you've got your white line. What people forget is the thickness of the growth is like foundations of a house.
Right.
Yeah.
So it grows from the coronary, and if you just did a nice with your rasp and you just saw how it is thicker at the toe, thinner at the heels, and it grows down. So people are obsessed with, let's get rid of that fucking toe. That's like getting let's take out the foundation of this house and see what happens. It's like, why don't you respect it and do your best to fit it, to respect it, and keep the foundation there?
Right.
So yeah, if you think of like a piece of pie as like a fraction, and you have the foot all the way around, and you don't fit the strongest part. So let's say that's 20%. You came under the toe.
Right.
20% of like the 100%. So then you have 100% of the load on 80% of the foot.
Right.
So you're not changing weight distribution.
Right.
You're overloading the rest of the foot, and then the rest of the foot's going to distort and flare and get worse.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's that balancing act. Yes, we set it under the toe with the hind feet, but in reality, we've trimmed it to where we want it to be trimmed, and we've kept the correct proportional margins of the hoof capsule.
Right.
And we've safed it on the toe, and we've made it correct. However, we've also got the practical element coming in, like hunters. If I fit it to the end of the toe to the way we're talking, and I didn't fit appropriately in front, I'd have a phone call within half an hour of them going on a ride.
Right.
It's also got the practical element, so it's like you need to support it and support the foundations and look after the hoof capsule, because there's four hoof capsules to a horse.
Yeah.
If you decide, I'm going to fit tight on the outside heel on one foot consistently, that foot's just going to collapse. The heel's going to contract, and it's just going to collapse, and you're just.
Right.
I've seen it where like you can see where how people work and how people have their deficiencies. I mean, I've got my deficiencies, like I'm not great at certain jobs, and or vice versa. And you can see within the horse's hoof capsule where they don't do something different or they don't do this. It's one of those that takes time to realize, and you go, oh shit.
But I think to sum up like everything that you just explained, my point with that little last thing was you can fit feet the way you want to fit feet because you have skill and you have intention. And so when you go to the foot, you have intention and skill behind you.
Yeah.
You're not just that's kind of where I wanted that shoe. It's not it's not a happy accident when you get a good fit. You got a good fit because you meant to get a good fit.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of farriers,
they just explain it away because it's accepted of like,
yes.
Oh, I gave him some breakover. When it's like, in reality, oh, I couldn't fit the foot, but I'll just tell you, I gave it some breakover.
Yeah, and I think a lot of us will find reasons to blame. Like I had a situation, and I got around the horses. They weren't bad, but I was telling Ed they were just it was windy, it was frisky, it was not fun. They were a little jerky. And the guy was like, this is the best they've done in forever. And I was like, oh. I was kind of thinking, I was like, it's probably the way they're holding him. The previous farrier was probably holding him, and they didn't like the way you were holding him.
Trying to make himself comfortable, not the horse.
Yeah. And I think you're a tall guy, but you put that horse where he's comfy.
Straight to midline.
Yeah. Because if you don't, your life's going to be so much worse. I'd rather be uncomfortable while I'm trimming that horse. And I think that's the other important part. You're doing a good trim and spending less time under the horse.
Yeah. Jim Keith said, just because you spent 10 minutes underneath the horse doesn't mean you got 10 minutes worth of work done.
Right. Well, it's kind of crazy because I bet today you spent half or a third easy less time under your horse than I did. And your job was better, like arguably. And that's the point. That's it right there.
You do stuff once if you can. If you can do it right the first time, then why would you go back and try to fix it?
Yeah, don't waste that. Yeah. Don't waste that effort.
Like today, I hit my measurements at the anvil, went and burned it on. I was like, cool, it fits.
Right.
Go rasp it up.
Yeah.
I think that's where I get in trouble. I tend to I pick at it.
Yeah.
I'll get kind of like, oh, that's good, but I can move this heel a little bit.
If all your reference points are in the basic parameters of being acceptable, then you're there.
Yeah,
because there's no such thing as a perfect job.
Right.
But if it looks right, it probably is right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So you just roll on.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing that I've noticed between the novices, the intermediates, and the openers is deciding when you need to move on and just cut your losses.
Right.
Because I'm watching lads chase. They dip the heel, they roll the heel, and they just start chasing it, trying to fix it. I'm just like, stop. You've done it now. You spent 10 minutes with this horse.
Time to move. Yeah.
It's time to go.
I've tried to be. I forget who got after me for that. I don't remember which person was that was like, okay, move on. I think you did too. You got after me for a little bit.
When was that?
We were doing that mule.
Oh yeah.
And you were like, okay, move on. Like I did that mule just the other day.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I didn't even try to swing him back. I just swung him forward.
Yeah.
Trimmed him from the top.
Yeah. What's the point? It's not comfortable going backwards. You know it. You see underneath it. It's clean, safe. So take it forwards and make it right.
String haul. And you get underneath him on the back end, and he just spastic, and then and you're sitting there trying, and it's like, well, thank you guys. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having us on.
Time.
Yeah, thank you.
It was a lot of fun, and hopefully we'll get to do it again.
Hopefully, yeah.
It's going to become an old red, white, and blue. We're going to get you. You're not going to be here for 4th of July, but we will make sure to send you overalls, and
you know the American flag overalls.
Oh, yeah.
Cut off short.
Yeah.
He'll be thinking of us, wishing he was here.
Yeah.
Well, thanks guys. I appreciate it, and we'll catch everybody next time.